How does Saturn on steroids sound to you? Or perhaps you'd be more intrigued by a planet that rains lava. A marshmallow planet? A Barbie planet? We're going on a planetary trip and there's just so much to explore. Starting with the Barbie planet, we have GL504b, an exoplanet which lies in all its pink glory some 57 light-years away. From the picture on the screen, you can pretty much guess what is strange about the planet. That is, the pink glow the planet exudes. It surely is a pretty magenta color, but the question now is, why does it have this color? With the blue-green shade of Uranus and the azure-blue shade of Neptune, the ice giant's methane levels are to blame for this. So with the magenta shade, what's to blame? The exoplanet, which is about the same size as Jupiter, our solar system's largest planet, and about 4 times more massive, is actually about 160 million years old. This might seem like a lot, but in actuality, it is really just a newborn when compared to the solar system. Therefore, since the planet is still pretty young, it is still undergoing transformation and still retains the heat of its formation, which causes it to have a dull magenta glow. This is a beautiful color to behold, but we are unsure if it will retain this color as it ages. Calling us some 640 light-years away is WASP 76b, an exoplanet that rains molten iron. This sure is extreme, but it is still nothing as close as the Hell planet, which we'll be getting to in a moment. So what's the deal with WASP 76b? The exoplanet, which is nearly as massive as Jupiter, was discovered not too long ago in 2016, and since it is tidally locked with its star, it faces it at all times, giving it a permanent dark side. Hence, the side of the planet that constantly faces its star runs as high as 2,350 degrees Celsius. At this extreme temperature, metals like iron melt and evaporate into the atmosphere. There is no surprise, as the melting point of iron is just 1,538 degrees Celsius. The temperature isn't the only thing that runs high on this planet, as the radiation from the bright side is about 1,000 times the amount our planet receives from the sun. With the dark side of the planet running about twice as cold as the temperatures on Earth, the planet boasts of distinct, extreme temperatures that contribute to the formation of intense winds. So, the strong winds carry the iron vapor from the hotter part of the planet and transport it to the cooler side. Therefore, once the iron vapor hits the cooler side, it cools down and converts to molten iron rain, which pours down on the planet's surface. Next up, we have K2141b, aka Hell Planet. This exoplanet is no doubt one of the extreme planets beyond our cozy solar system, with scorching temperatures running as high as 3,000 degrees Celsius. At such high temperatures, rocks do not only melt, but also vaporize into the atmosphere. With molten lava seas, supersonic winds, and lava rains, the planet really embodies hellish conditions. The universe is indeed diverse and vast, with the most peculiar planets lying around in style, and just some 434 light-years away is J147b, which is pretty much like Saturn on steroids. A quick glimpse at the planet gives Saturnian vibes, with similar rings encircling the planet. But a closer look and examination of the planet shows the colossal size of the rings. Well, that is pretty much expected because the planet is about 10 to 40 Jupiter masses. At that size, J147b can successfully dwarf our solar system's biggest planet. Armed with 30 rings, this planet is easily crowned the planet of the rings. Saturn no doubt pales in comparison with a mere 7 rings. The number of the rings isn't the only thing amazing about the planet. Their size is also mesmerizing. The rings span 180 kilometer wide, which is about 200 times bigger than Saturn's rings and wider than the Earth-Sun distance. The planet's ring system is surely a spectacular sight to behold. Speaking of weird planets, WASP 107b, which has the density of cotton candy, definitely holds a spot in the top list. The superpuff planet really does make us question our previous understanding of how gas giants were formed. Lying in the constellation of Virgo, some 212 light-years away, the cotton candy planet really does wow scientists with its odd makeup and tiny core. For a planet about approximately the same size as Jupiter, one would expect it to be at least hundreds of Earth's mass. But this is not the case. The oddball is just about 30 Earth masses. Even Jupiter, which is about its size, is about 300 Earth masses. Then the core, which should be about 10 times that of Earth, is just some measly 4 times bigger than Earth. And it's got its weird features to blame for its low density, thereby making it a giant marshmallow casually floating in space. Think this is weird? You might want to check out GL 121-4b, an exoplanet with a water-rich atmosphere. Its mass is about 6 times that of Earth and a radius of 0.245 times that of Jupiter. The main highlight of this planet is, no doubt, its abundance of water. But this is the same feature that makes the planet an oddball. We know water has 3 phases: solid, liquid, and gas. However, this planet defies this and openly questions your knowledge of our planet's best liquid. It sure does have water, but it exists in a constant supercritical fluid form due to the extreme heat and pressure of the planet. So water exists in a strange plasma form, maintaining the characteristics of gas and liquid, but it's neither and both at the same time. Within our solar system, all planets have moons with the exception of Mercury and Venus. Earth has 1, while Jupiter has as many as 80 moons. However, since the discovery of exoplanets, astronomers are still yet to find exomoons orbiting these planets. Well, to be fair, at such great distances, it is very difficult to locate little bodies orbiting the planets. However, this might not be the case anymore, as a moon-forming disk has been sighted circumferencing a distant planet, aka PDS 70c, with significant material, enough to make not 1 but 3 of them the size of our planet's moon. Humans might have the opportunity of watching these celestial bodies form in reality and not via a computer simulation. How cool is that? Speaking of orbiting bodies, 2MASS J2126 was believed to be a lonely and free-floating planet for a long time. But this turned out to not be the case. The planet was not just lonely, but had its own star, dubbed TYC 9486-9271, that it moves through space with. Fun fact, astronomers actually knew about this star for years, but just saw no link between these bodies till the I's were dotted. The relationship between this planet and its star is pretty peculiar, because this exoplanet orbits its star at a distance of about 1 trillion kilometers, making their orbital radius the largest ever known. In simpler words, a year on that planet will equal 900,000 Earth years. In the case of KOI 5AB, which is about 1,800 light-years away, the planet has not just 1 but 3 stars. Pretty strange, right? That's like having 3 suns. The planet, which is about half the size of Saturn, was initially ignored and even considered to be some sort of science fiction till it was given more consideration about 10 years ago. And it turns out that the planet was a part of a triple star system. It revolves around star A, which on the other side has a close companion, star B, and both stars revolve around each other every 30 years. Then another body, star C, orbits around stars A and B every 400 years. The sky is a beauty to behold from the surface of the planet. 2 sun-like stars are visible, and one of them is about 17 times bigger than our sun, while the other is much smaller and fainter. The second star might be faint, but it is still about 1,000 times brighter than the full moon. With so many exoplanets yet to be found, we can only wonder what other oddballs we might yet to be introduced to in the future. But until next time, be sure to like and subscribe. Cheers.